Guru Nation, thank you so much for watching. You guys ask, and I have to deliver, okay? And it's a day in the life of a coordinator. Now, we didn't do this, like, for real. Like, we should have done it when you woke up, when you got here. By the way, Katie's been here first, like, for a month, right? Before me.
Pretty much.
That's insane. I gotta beat you here one of these days, but I do too many live streams. Okay, so we're gonna try to do like kind of a day in the life of a CRC and mainly focused around the tech that we're using. So today, Katie was here. Patient came in like even before the clinic opened. Patient was here. Katie greeted her. You did the visit. By that time, I came in. The nurse practitioner came in. He got the injection, did the IP, but you set it all up. Like, you had it all ready. And that was a relatively easy visit.
Yeah.
But there's always, like, little hiccups. And we used Creo to do the visit.
Yep.
And you guys know Creo. Shout out to Creo. I got in there later, and I noticed that over the weekend, because we've been seeing a lot of visits now for this one study, over the weekend there was a bunch of lab reports, and the coordinator that's doing that study, Daisy, is, as you can see, not here. So I did it because I figured Katie has a bunch of stuff to do. Let me get in there and print out all the stuff. Our PI needs to sign labs. So I use Versatrail. Guys, you guys have to, okay? Another sponsor, Versatrail. It's free. Go get Versatrail. It's a bookmark manager. You love it, right?
I do
You're
love it.
You're not paid by them, and you love it.
Yes, I do love it.
Okay.
I use it every day.
You only got one gift card from them.
One gift
But
card.
that's not the reason why you love it.
No, it's not it.
That's a nice bonus. So, Versatrail, I went in, okay, let me get my lab access. The link was there. Now, I haven't used it in so long, they deactivated me. But I'm back. I'm back.
Okay.
And it took like 5 minutes. I called the number, a lady did it right away. So, I went in there, printed all the stuff. But what I noticed was when a study starts getting busy and it's so quick, like the visits are so close together, one of the lab samples said not enough sample to process.
Right.
But then we got that result so late, like there already like 3 more visits happened. Maybe even more, like 4 visits happened.
Right.
So that might be a deviation. We don't know. But how do you keep track of like labs, especially when there's so many of them? Because the PI needs to sign all of them, and technically if something's not done, it should be redrawn. But in this study, I think because there's so many and so frequently, like, we don't have to do that.
Right, so specifically for this study, it is so quick. Usually we don't get the lab results in for a couple days and after, like, the next visit. So that one's a little stressful, and that one's not always very good for like lab work and stuff because it is so fast. But most of the time, specifically for this study, whenever you get new lab results, what I do is I go through my emails. Usually they all come in around the same time for that day, so depending on what day you sent them, all the results usually come like grouped together from that specific day. So I go through the emails, like I got a bunch grouped right here. What I do is I click on the email and then I click on the link that goes to that lab result.
This way you know you don't miss any.
Right, so I don't miss any. So, because if you go to the ACM portal, they send them. Oh shoot.
They said, but what about, your system is better than mine, but what about when you don't get a sample or you may not have received notification? Like, how do we know that we are actually getting the PI to sign every lab?
You just have to check the portal, the lab portal.
And that's where the EDC maybe comes into, because you have to enter results for most things. Or not for this study is not helpful.
For this specific study, entering into the EDC is not specifically helpful just because things don't populate like right away, if that makes sense. And for this study, they more so just ask, like in the very, very beginning during screening, they'll ask specifically what are the results to all these questions. And then after that, they'll ask, is this out of range, not out of range? And you don't really have to go in and specify what exactly each thing was. You just put normal, abnormal, not clinically significant, or abnormal, clinically significant.
Okay. And now switching gears, so the lab, you guys, that's like an hour podcast we can do on that. But now we're using Versatrel again.
Right.
There's an X-ray we got to redo.
Yep.
I have to make sure that I go with the patient this day, so it's on our calendar. But there's an X-ray portal. Again, Versatrel, there's a link. So you made sure, this morning you made sure you set that up and that you let me know to do it. The next thing is another study we have in startup mode. You actually have two for yourself in startup mode, right?
Yeah.
So you've been using Viva for this.
Yes.
So let's go there.
Let's go.
Another sponsor. Shout out to Viva. Thank you. We use the platforms that sponsor this channel, guys.
Right. So we actually, I can show you the binder a little bit. So all of these different things are here. All the studies that we have on Viva right now. Most
Can I
of
zoom
them.
in or no? Better
yeah.
not.
Well, I think so on here.
Okay.
These are just documents, but these are all the studies that we have, and then you can kind of see a little bit of Viva too, like how they have it set up and everything.
Okay. That's enough, guys, for you guys to see. But it's helpful.
It is very helpful for study startup just because we do use Creo, and Creo is very good, but it's also expensive. So SiteVault or Viva is very good for early startup things, especially when you don't know if you're actually like getting the study or not, because we've had a few SIV visits and then they ended up not going through with the study, but we still have all the documents on Viva. So that's nice. The only thing though with Viva that I've noticed since uploading documents, they have it set it up really well. But whenever you get like logs, there's not a place for logs. Like ICF log, pre-screen log,
So where do you
or
put
even I put them, if they're subject facing, they have a subject facing folder, and that's like IP log for subject, rescue medication for subject, and then everything else pretty much goes in either correspondence or study training, because they have like training material in there. It's still not the best, so it's kind of random depending on what type of log it is.
They're working on it.
Yeah.
And then in Nato, so one of the other things, day in the life, and by the way, all these lab reports we printed, you gotta go get the PI to sign it.
Right.
And then the labs that we did, that we had someone draw it, because you don't draw blood yet.
Right.
You will. You had to process, ship it.
Right.
That's another portal. You had to send an invoice just to give like a little glimpse into CRC life.
Yeah.
And then I asked Katie, because she's like the tech expert here, hey, another sponsor in Nato, every site should get link underneath. Free studies, guys. We have some studies there, and one of our PIs is interested, and I actually don't know where we are with these things, so in real time I'm going to get update from Katie, but she's in charge of seeing where we are with these studies. And
Right.
see, she has 17 new trials to review. This is
Right.
amazing.
Yeah.
Some people wish they had this many.
And there's only 17 trials, but there's multiple trials on this website. We only have 17 trials to review because we have our settings set up a certain way, so we only get specific types of trials that pop up.
And where are we at? Like, what does it tell us? What do we need to do? I actually don't know. We have a study, that one, I have to do something? Or that one we already have?
So these ones that are on the trials to discover are trials that have already started, and then already have a protocol.
Oh, okay.
So you can click on it, see trial details, It'll give you like very simplistic overview of what it is.
That psoriasis one, the PI told us to try to get it.
Yeah.
So I'll go in there. So that's my homework then. I got to go in there and get it. And so your experiences so far with Inato?
Pretty good. I think they're good on like showing us or giving us like what we're actually looking for rather than just a bunch of random studies that people
easy to
need.
use?
Yeah, it is really easy to use. So once you click on the study, you can hit I'm interested. And then I believe you do have to sign a CDA. But after that, you can get the protocol and actually look it over and then go on from there.
Okay. And then just a few more things. A day in the life. We had a IP temperature excursion for one study. So I'm going to do that later today. And then we have this patient recruitment vendor that's been sending us leads. So I've been keeping that up to date these past few days. But most coordinators will do a little bit of all this stuff we discussed and more. Answer queries. We didn't even get into that. It's probably a bunch of queries. Data entry.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of our next hire is going to start out entering data for us.
Okay.
And then working her into coordinator as well, which is, you guys didn't have that when you started. You just did everything. But yeah, what else? Did we miss anything? Day in the life, like a glimpse. That's most of it?
That's most of it.
Scheduling patients.
Yeah, patients.
Creo schedules.
Yeah, which scheduling patients is pretty good. It's pretty easy. What I like to do is for a lot of the studies, I'll schedule the patients like next 3 or 4 visits out when the patient is here, and then go from there. So it's
all right.
Keeps it easy.
E-pros. Making sure patients do their e-pros.
Yes.
Coordinators hate that. That's part of it. Day in the life.
Yeah.
And this is all typical stuff every day. Dealing with monitors. Little things here and there. I'm sure we forgot stuff, but it's semi-accurate.
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay. Thank you, Katie. Go follow her underneath on LinkedIn, which she checks once every quarter. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Bye-bye.